Happy Cinco de Mayo today. Okay? Get it? See the ship's sinking? The ship's name is de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. Good time. It's a good dad joke. In visual form. Yeah. So we're going to start day 3 of the notes today. It's really the crux of what we wanted to do this week. So we're going to combine what we learned on Monday to how to identify what comics are what, along with the video that you were supposed to watch yesterday on completing the square, and we're going to go forward today. Okay? So if you are confused about today, or if you're going to struggle with today, I strongly recommend that you go back and you watch the video from yesterday to clear things up. Okay? Some good notes. It's a short video. It's under 11 minutes, but it explains the process of completing the square in much more detail than what I will go through today. Okay? So today we are going to be asked to, first off, classify the conic, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola, circle. Then we're going to be asked to find all the key parts to that particular conic. If it's a circle, we need to find the radius and the center. Parabola, we need to find vertex, focus, directrix, axis of symmetry. Ellipse, we got to find center, vertices, and foci. Hyperbola, we need to find center, vertices, foci, asymptotes. I think what else? That's everything, I think. Okay? Right? And then we want to graph it at the end, too. So we're going to do everything that we've done the last 4 weeks and the last 2 days. Okay? So, first off, let's start with Monday. We need to classify this particular conic section. What would we classify this one as? What do you got? Tell me what. You are correct. You just now justify it for me. The x and y squared have different coefficients, and I'm going to have you give me one more too. That makes it not a hyperbola. It's addition, right? Yep, exactly. So we've got addition of our two squared terms, okay, and we have different coefficients, and that makes it an ellipse. So this is an ellipse. This. So that's an ellipse. Okay? Now, we need to put it in our ellipse form. Our ellipse form was x minus h quantity squared over a squared plus y minus k quantity squared over b squared equals 1. Okay? So to do that, this is where we used yesterday. Now we got to use completing the square. So the first thing that we're going to do with completing the square is we're going to space our stuff out. So I'm going to group my x's together. I'm going to leave a space. I'm going to group my y's together. I'm going to leave a space. And then I'm going to put my numbers on the other side. Okay. So I really just moved the 189 over to the other side. Okay. Now I'm going to do a completing the square on my x's. Okay. Well, first thing, I got to get a coefficient of 1, so I need to factor out of 4. That creates the box that I need to fill. And so I'm going to say to myself, self, my green B is going to be negative 12. Oops, I'm running out of space. My green B is negative 12. I divide it by 2. That gives me negative 6. I square it. That gives me 36. So I'm going to fill this box with 36. But now I've imbalanced my equation. So on the other side, I'm going to have to add 144. Then I go to my y's. That gives me another b. This time it's negative 14. I divide that one by 2. That gives me negative 7. I square that one, and it gives me 49. So I'm going to fill this box with 49. Again, I've imbalanced my equations. So now I'm going to have to add 49 to the other side.
You don't have to do opposite. Like, because it's 49 in the box area. You don't have to do like negative 49 on the other side.
That would make it even more out of imbalance. Yep. Negative 189 plus 144 is negative 45 plus 49 is 4. Okay. So we're getting closer to it being equal to 1 because ellipsi are equal to 1. So I would say next then that this is 4 times the quantity x minus 6 squared plus quantity y minus 7 squared is equal to 4. Then, because our original equation was equal to 1, I'm going to divide everything by 4, and that's going to give me my equation of my ellipse. So the standard form equation of this particular ellipse is quantity x minus 6 squared over 1 plus quantity y minus 7 squared over 4, and that is equal to 1. Extend the page here a little bit. So that is the ellipse then that we need to graph and find the special points thereof. First special point is the center. What is the center of this ellipse? 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 7. Left and right I go. How many? 1. Up and down I go. 2. Which one's longer? Horizontal or vertical? Vertical is longer. That would mean that my vertices are up and down 2. So that would be at 6, 9 and 6, 5. Then I need to find the foci, the equation for the foci. What equation do I use for foci in an ellipse? In an ellipse.
A squared plus B squared plus C squared.
That's in a hyperbola.
Is the absolute value of A and B? I don't know.
I don't know. We could look in our notes though. Should be in our notes. We got to it.
C squared equals the absolute value of A squared.
A squared is what? 1. B squared is what? 4. 1 minus 4? -3. Absolute value of -3? 3. So C is the square root of 3. Because my major axis is vertical, I add square root of 3 to which part of my center? The y part. And there's everything that I need from a regular old-fashioned equation, XY equation. Okay? All right. Try another one. Give you a second to write it down. So what is it? Circle? Why it's circle? And we are adding. Yep, we're adding the squared terms, and the coefficients are the same. So this one is a circle. Equation of a circle, x minus h, quantity squared, plus y minus k, quantity squared, is equal to r squared. So we need to find the center and the radius in this particular one. Okay. So again, we start by grouping my x's, leaving a space, grouping my y's, leaving a space, and having that be equal to my numbers, which in this case I'd have to add 8 to both sides, making it be 11. Okay. X is first. Fill the box. My B is 16. It divided by 2 is 8. It squared is 64. So 64 is going to fill this box, unbalancing my equations. So I need to balance my equations by putting it there. Then I go to my y's. My b is now -10. Divided by 2. Square it. Fill the box with 5. Left one, the green one, becomes x plus 8 quantity squared. Orange one becomes y minus 5 quantity squared. 11 plus 64 is 75. Plus 25 is 100. Center. Negative 8, comma 5. Radius. Nope. 10.
Oh, yeah.
Square root. Yep, not just divide by 2. Yep. So negative 8, comma 5. Is right there. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep, 5. Then we gotta go tens. There. There. Don't think. We get a square. Let's see what this is just not square. We'll go old school. Make a gap for my equation. Something like that. Good. Good times. Questions on that one? Yes, ma'am.
So if you have a circle that's as big, we have to double the circle if it doesn't fit on the ground.
As best as you can. Okay. Try that one. Classify it. Find me the points. Draw me the graph. What did we decide this one is?
What?
I'll tell you after we're done recording. What do we decide this one is? A parabola. Yep. Okay, it's a parabola. And it's got a y squared, right? So that means that our form is going to be y minus k quantity squared equals plus or minus, we don't know yet, 4p times x minus h. Move this down a little bit. Get that out the way. Okay, so we need y's all on one side. With a space. And then we need x's on the other side with our numbers. Kind of, the general form is going to kind of give us a roadmap of where we need to go. So then we need to find our y's. So that's going to be a b value of negative 10. Divided by 2 is going to be negative 5. Square it is going to be 25. So I'm going to fill this gap here with 25, which means I'm going to need to add 25 to that side also. Left side simplifies down to y minus 5 quantity squared. Right side simplifies to 20x plus 40. Still not in the same form because I need to factor out that coefficient on my x term on the right side. So the final factored form, or the final form, the general form, if you will, of this parabola would be this. Y minus 5 quantity squared is equal to 20, or is equal to 20 times the quantity x plus 2. You had told me earlier that this was a parabola. So that means that we need a vertex. I get the vertex here is negative 2, comma 5. I get that 4p is equal to 20, so p is equal to 5. Since it's positive 20, that means I'm going to go get the foci first, or the focus, I should say, there's only one. Focus is 5 to the right, because the right is the positive direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is my focus. That is the point 3, comma 5. 5 to the left, then, is going to give me my directrix. X equals negative 7. Axis of symmetry is the fourth thing that we need. That's the line through the vertex and the focus. Y, oops, I put Y equals already. I don't need to be the Department of Redundancy department. Y equals 5 as our axis of symmetry. Width of our parabola is 20, because that's 4p. That's 10 up and 10 down. There, through the focus. Notice too, I wrote center there instead of vertex. And there. Good? Okay. So we got that going, which is nice. You can now do everything on the front side of your worksheet. You will probably need to use a second sheet or a separate piece of paper, if you will, to do your work, because I didn't leave you enough space to show your work on this week's thing. I do ask that you, this week when you turn in homework, that you also show me your work. Don't just show me a picture of the answers. I want to see your work that goes along with them too. Okay? There will be a quiz this weekend. It will be your last quiz in preparation for next week's final.